Stampers, it's Gigi with Stamp Fanatics, and I have a really cute box I wanted to share with you today, and it's from this little piggy. Isn't he adorable? I mean, how cute. And I've embossed the box with the stars framelit, which actually, once it's on here, kind of looks like a little flower, so I just wanted to share that with you too. I'm using some of our new daffodil ribbon that's stitched, and some of our shimmery white paper, so we're going to do some watercoloring on there today. So just wanted to take a look at that, and what we're going to use is, like I said, this little piggy. This is a new stamp set in our catalog. He's so adorable, I just can't put him down. I've been making card after card, and now I'm making a cute box for you today. So we're going to be using that stamp, and the pig that we're going to be using will be this little guy with the flower. So let me go ahead and take him out. And I'm going to go ahead and put him on a block. There we go. Let's center that a little better. There. So I want him straight. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to be using a piece of Pool Party cardstock, and this is cut at 10 inches long and by 6 across. And what we're going to first do is we're going to score it. So let me get my scoring board. All right. And we're going to score it on the landscape mode, which is your longer mode. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch. Then we're going to go to 2 1/4. 5 1/4, and then at 7. And then we're going to turn it into our portrait mode, and we're just going to score it at 1 3/4. So we're going to go to the 3/4 mark and just score that all the way down. And that's it. Okay, the next thing I did is I did crease on here on our score line. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. And I just want to give it a little crease with my bone folder. When you're making boxes, it's good to have really crisp edges. All right, and there. And then we'll just do it across the bottom. All right, now the next thing I did was I decided to emboss this. I just thought it would be so much cuter with embossing. So let me get my Big Shot and I'll show you what I mean. Okay. The embossing folder I'm using is a new one called Oh My Stars, and I actually bought this because I thought, oh, 4th of July is coming up and I'll definitely want to make something with the stars on there. But look at that. They could be cute little flowers too. So I took it, and let me get my plates together here. And I'm embossing on tab 1 of my embossing. I'm going to put a plate down at the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Now, how I did it was I did it this way, okay? And I went up to this small score line because I don't need that part embossed. It's going to be, some of it will be cut off, and the other part is actually going to be glued. So I just went to there. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that through. And I actually am putting it through sideways. It does fit. Let me get all that together. All right. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to take it, I'm going to slide it down, and I'm going to go to this fold line. And so you can get 2 of them out of the one piece of paper. So I'm just going to put it back in my Big Shot, put my plate on top, and then I'm going to run it through. And that will emboss the whole box. And this is what you get. Isn't that cute? Okay, so let's get rid of the Big Shot. That's all I needed that for. And now I do want the embossing to be up and not inverted. So I'm going to make sure when I refold my lines, I'm going to go back on the side where they're kind of puffed up on the outside. Okay, and on the bottom. So our bag's actually going to be embossed all the way around. How cute. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this small side, and I'm just going to cut off this last little tab. And then I'm even going to miter this one edge, just so it will close really well. Let me see, I didn't get that right up to the score line. Let's get that right up there. Okay. Then we're going to cut up straight on each one of our score lines. And as you see, on some of it, we're forming a little tab. The bigger part is the actual box. So on these tabs, which would be this one and this one, I'm going to cut these in half. And they don't have to be perfect because they're really not going to show. And then I'm also going to miter those corners, just again, so they close up pretty good on the box. So let's see, I can get all the way up there. We'll just take that off, and then we're going to do the same thing. I'm not touching the wider parts of the box, just the little tabs. And I'm going to miter that up on the corner. And just miter this one too a little bit. There we go. Okay. So now we're ready to do our box. Now, I like to use tear and tape on a box. You can use any of your strong adhesives. I'll go ahead and bring my silicone mat out too so my surface doesn't get sticky by any means. But I'm just going to put a piece across that narrow piece. And let's peel that off. Okay, and then I'm just going to lay that down and fold this right into that score line so it's nice and even. Now, this part here is actually going to be the back of my box. So this part will tuck in, this will come up, and this is where I'm going to put my tape. So when I close it, I have it on the front of my box. So I'm going to put a few more pieces of my scoring tape. I love this tear and tape. It's easy to work with, it's fast, and you don't get messy. You could use glue or whatever strong adhesive that you have. If you have fast fuse or you have your Tombow glue, any of those would work. Just want a strong adhesive for a box because if you put a gift in there, you don't want it to fall through. All right, now I'm going to straighten out my box and then just put my back down, and then I'm just going to go inside and really take my bone folder and make sure it's good. Now on each side, I'm just going to press with my fingers and make it come in a little bit and make it be even. So there we go. And I'm going to take one of my library clips and I'm going to close my box with that for now. So just like that. Okay. And now I'm ready to move on and do my little piggy. So I'm taking a piece of not Whisper White, the shimmering white. If you can see the little shimmer in there, let's get a little light around here. It's 2.5 by 3, and then the piece that's going to go behind it, which is over here, the yellow, is a daffodil yellow, and it's 2 3/4 by 3 1/4, so it's just a quarter. Okay, I'm going to take my pig stamp, and I'm just going to ink them up with my black Stays On, which is a permanent ink. You can also use your black archival because they really don't sell this anymore in Stampin' Up! Catalog. But I like it and I still have it, so I want to use it up. And so it's a permanent ink, so this way we can color with it. All right. So the colors I'm going to color my pig are Powder Pink and Lemon Lime Twist, and that's what I did down there at the bottom. And I'm going to be using my blender pen today. So what I want to do, oh, and then I'm also going to use this yellow Daffodil Delight to color in right here on my flowers, just to match the daffodil ribbon. Okay, so after you get some ink in your lid, what you do, let me just show you how you get the ink in there, is you just press with your thumbs, and that will get you some ink in the lid of your stamp pad. And then I'm just going to pick some up with my blender pen, and I'm just going to start coloring our pig. And I'll kind of start from the outside and work in case it's a little darker in the beginning. This way it'll look like a shading. And I'm just going to keep coloring. And I just love this little pig. I have not put him down since I got him in. Like I said, I've been making cards, and now I'm making a cute box, and I think I might need some therapy with pigs after this, but he's so cute, and there's just so many cute images. I think if you get him, you're really going to love him. He's so versatile. But anyway, I'm just going to keep coloring. And it goes pretty fast with the blender pen. You can also use your aqua painter. When you're on shimmering white paper, it colors pretty nice. Let's see, let's get a little bit more there, maybe a little more on his tummy, maybe blend that in a little bit more. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to wipe this off. So I'm going to get a little piece of paper and just kind of wipe it until it's clear. I'm going to get our lemon lime twist. Same thing, get some ink in your lid, pick it up, and then I'm just kind of going in my grass a little bit here and doing a little bit down below it and a little above it, just like grass would be. And on the other one, it looks like I went a little darker. You can go as light or dark as you want. Maybe I went over it a few times. There we go. Okay, just for a hint of that. And then I'm just cleaning off my pen. That's all I'm using for my blender pen. And now I'm going to go to my Stampin' Right marker. And I'm going to use, there's two tips on it. There's like a brush and then there's a fine point. And this one I think I'm going to use the fine point because it's pretty small. And I'm just going to color in each one of the petals. And then in the middle, I did take the pink. So let me, I did have my powder pink marker. If you don't have this though, you can still use your blender pen, but I am going to use it. And oops, I forgot about the leaf. I don't even think I did it over here. Oh yes, I did. Okay, well, let's get the blender pen back out and we'll also pick up and do this little leaf. There we go. Cute. All right. So that's it. And make sure when you're done that you close your blender pens up because they will dry out. So you want to make sure you get those closed. All right. So now all I need, let him dry a little bit, is I'm going to put them on the back of our piece. And I did use dimensionals. So let me use some dimensionals. I popped them up here and then I popped them up on the actual bag. I apologize if you hear mowing. It seems like either one neighbor or the other is always mowing. We have the best yards in town here. So if you hear that, I do apologize. Okay, and then I'm going to also put it on the back. And this is a fast and quick, easy bag. Be so cute with little treats in it. Let's just pull that off, or a small little gift. And I love the saying, "You made me happy." It's just cute. All right, so then we're just going to take it and center it on our bag. Push that down. There we go. And the last thing we're going to do is just add our daffodil ribbon. So I love this new stitched ribbon that we have that's out. And because this has a little hole in the top of the library clip, I just pinched it together and I'm just going to put it right through that clip. And pull it through. And let's get my scissors. Let's see, I think we need about like so. Okay. And then I'm just going to tie a bow, just like you would on anything. And this is how I tie a bow. A lot of my people come to class like to know how I do it. I just loop it, take it around from the back, and then put it right through like that. So it's like tying a shoe, only I just come around from the back. And then I'm just going to play with it a little bit until I get it about as big as I want it. I don't want it too big. And then I'm just going to kind of cut my ends at an angle like that. And that's it. Done. Isn't he cute? I just love him. He's so adorable. Then you can fluff up your bow and play around with it. But that's my box for today. Like I said, he is embossed all the way around, so he's just got cuteness all over it. And I really think these look like some of the flowers. I even debated whether I was going to put a dot in the middle of the flower to make it like more like a little daisy like this. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed some of the products that we're using. And if you need anything, just let me know. I'd be happy to be your demonstrator. Have a great day. Thanks.